Hello all, Gogo here. After watching many videos about players destroying or looting dream islands but not finishing fully, I can understand why, I decided that I wanted to know how much you can get from one island, stupidly choosing Dragonite Island because of Pokemetal. If you're looking for all the calculations and numbers, they will be at the end. But I set up to start my project after doing a few days of time skipping to stock up on beans and potatoes for potato hamburger steaks. Later finding out that the vibrant hamburger steaks are better by a decent amount, 430 block difference to be exact. So I go to my dream island and start my clearing the buildings and clearing out the junk tower. Then on to the clearing the mountains until we reach the beach. My wife Mystic helps me with this. Then I go down and around placing blocks around the ocean to make it so that the water doesn't flow in. I later find out that the water only goes so far, so I fix this much later on. I also found out that my wife can join by using Game Share with her Switch 1. So it helped us out in the end to be able to play together. We're able to do it whenever our 2-year-old will let us. We start out with switching for who's clearing the blocks, and then the other will suck the blocks up. And we do this for the first good while. This project took a lot longer than either of us thought it would. If anyone wants to guess, Mystic and I made our own guesses for how many chests it fills, how much Pokemetal we can get, rare and normal, how many hours it takes, and how many hamburg steaks we use. So feel free to pause and comment down below what your guess is, and then come back later to see how close you were. Not gonna lie, after getting about 75% of the way through, we decided that not to worry about collecting the blocks anymore, but I did calculate how many were left before we had continued. It was taking about 4.5 hours to clear each row of 2 with the Graveler form. If you're collecting the blocks. And it was only about an hour to just under 2 if I was alone. It was just under an hour if it was the 2 of us together and we weren't collecting them. Angles are much faster if you can keep it going at a steady pace and not leave too much behind. I was ready to give up many times. This was a very big project. I definitely had me questioning my sanity, but I stuck it out so that others don't have to in order to complete this. I had to constantly reset my day. I also found out that if you accidentally go ahead a day and jump back, the island does not reset. So any islands in your past for Dream Islands will always be there. It will always be the same even when I go back now. Everything will remain cleared that you cleared out as well. Something very interesting for the Dream Islands is actually the way that they do the walls, because you have about 4 or 5 layers where it looks like an ocean wall, but you can walk through it and it just respawns you. If you hit it hard enough, it'll respawn you back at Drifloon. Mystic found that one out. And you can actually swim in it as Lapras. So you can kind of swim around the outside edge of the map. Also, when you look at the map near the end, you can see that underneath it actually looks almost like water underneath for the final layer. But you also can't, there's one layer 1 to 2 layers in from the wall that you can't break, which is also kind of an interesting way. So it's kind of interesting how they did all the borders for the Dream Islands. Have to do some testing to see if they're like that in the actual main areas as well at some point. For anyone that wants to see the full video, there will be another one being uploaded of each of the layers that I have a video that I got of it coming out. That's sped up. So feel free to check that video out when you get a chance. And without further ado, here is the numbers that we got for what we went through. So I filled 132 chests fully before stopping collecting. That's 810,216 blocks, not including the incomplete stacks. We got 7,123 regular Pokemetal, 873 rare Pokemetal, so a total of 7,996. It took 56 hours, roughly. We started with 2,293 hamburgers and have 1,229 left. So it took just over 1,000. The smallest square that I could find to collect from is about 1,200 or 215 by 198, and it's about, and that's below the ocean level, and it's 20. You can get about 28 levels in total. So the square blocks that you can collect from one island in just that small square would be 1,149,390 blocks. That doesn't include the beach or the mountains. Doing this took a lot and made me and Mystic question what we were doing. We also decided to go on to question what the block limits were for each zone, as we got bored with each area with some of the levels to just give ourselves a break. And we found out that with each map the levels are different. Actually 3 of them are the same, 2 are different. So all these numbers were based off of the Dragonite Island. If anybody is interested and this gets enough interest and shows potential, then I will probably potentially look into doing maybe a Dragonite versus a Pikachu Island and see how things go from there. Just an after note for this, if I had used vibrant stakes instead of using just the potato ones, I would have used 261 less if I had done it that way instead, because it makes such a difference for big projects. So thanks to those of you who checked this out. If anyone does have any questions that they want answered about Pokopia or possibly other games, leave it in the comments below and I will see if I can get you the answers you seek. Thank you again. Until next time, stay curious and question things. Go out.